Welcome to Lunch with a Shark, another episode on June the 8th of 2020. I apologize, we actually had technical difficulties and they're actually removing the other Lunch with a Shark from 5 minutes ago. We actually had a little bit of a blockage here in San Diego. Something happened, so I apologize. But welcome. Thank you for tuning in today. Lunch with a Shark, and I hope you had a great weekend. That you decompressed, you loaded your energy, you reloaded your energy. Great things are coming. Most states are open back for business. Most businesses are open back for business. We got good news from Disneyland. They're opening back in July 22nd, and downtown Disney might be opening in 2 weeks. So for us, things are coming back to normal. That's funny. So today, we're going to talk about 5 tips to make your small business more profitable. Most of our businesses, we started them to make money, to make profit. Unless you're a nonprofit, even though nonprofits seek no profit, they do. They look for profit. They don't disperse the profit among their shareholders or their members because they support the community. That's their main objective. The only difference between a nonprofit and for-profit is that for-profit, we pay taxes. Nonprofits, they don't pay taxes. That's the only difference, but they are seeking profits. Okay? So unless you're a nonprofit, you started your business to make money, to make profits. Okay? Most of our companies, in current situations or current times, we might be seeking cutting costs. But you can actually not go and cut costs just because. There's some costs that you cannot cut because it's actually gonna cost you more. And let me tell you an example. And I'm gonna retake the same example we did a couple of years ago. We actually consulted. This is still our client, like 5 years ago. That we actually got a message from them, and they said, "Hey, you know what? Our headquarters wants us to cut costs between 20 and 30%, mostly 30%." And I said, "Okay, which costs are you trying to cut?" And they said, "All over the board, everything. We want to cut 30% out of our all costs." I said, "Well, that's going to be close to impossible because let's just talk about some of your suppliers." I said, "Some of them you're under contract. You have committed for X number of containers for this item, and first of all, if you don't fulfill, your price increases. If you buy more, the price doesn't go down because you are under contract. It's like commodities." And they said, "Well, we need to do so." I said, "Well, unless you go to your vendors, or we go to your vendors, to your suppliers, and we say, hey, we're willing to buy X time of number of containers more per week, per month, per year, please give us a better price," they're not going to do so. If you just simply go ahead and say, hey, please cut my cost by 30%, they're going to laugh at your face. Literally. So there's certain things that you cannot cost. Let's say that your marketing team is performing amazingly. And you go to them and say, you know what, we're going to cut your monthly fee by 30%. They're just going to say, well, we're going to cut your deliverables by 30%. And things like that. Unless you negotiate, I don't really think you're going to be able to successfully reduce costs by 30%. Your electric bill, the electric company is going to say, well, this is the rate. There's nothing we can do. Unless you turn off 30% of your power, you're going to be able to reduce maybe 20% or so because of the proration and things like that. Your utilities, your internet, cell phones, things like that. There's certain things that you can negotiate in reducing your cost, but not eliminating. So, long story short, long story short, we were not able to reduce 30%, but we achieved some of the cost reductions. Okay, so let's jump into the 5 tips that we have for you. The first one is don't spend too much time on low value activities. What you need to do is you need to plan your month, your week, your day. Okay? And the first things you need to do during your day, during your week, during your month is what's going to generate more revenue versus what's not going to generate revenue. Okay? What's going to increase your income versus it's just gonna cost you or not generate anything in your profits or in your revenue. So once you know what's your time is worth, you can focus more on your time than other things. For a very clear example, this happened today. I got a phone call from Jeff and he said, "Hey, this is going to cost $8 for delivery. Should I just go and drop it off?" I said, "No, because you need to take into consideration your time, the gas, the depreciation, and things like that. It's going to be more expensive than $8. Yes, that's true. Therefore, it was mailed. Okay? So if you know how much your time is worth, how much you're spending on anything that you want to reduce, then you can properly allocate, move around, or things like that. If you start your day by answering emails, answer the emails that are revenue driven, revenue generators. If a business, if a client, if a prospect answer an email saying, "Hey, just move forward with this new engagement," do so. Plan it, move it, allocate it, so that starts immediately happening. So things like that. So know what's your time worth. Number 2, don't pay for costly services and activities. Hey, don't eat out every single day. If your office or your home, pretty sure it does, have a coffee maker, maybe don't stop at Starbucks every freaking day. Those expenses cost you a lot. Same as memberships. If you go ahead and subscribe to every single freaking membership out there, $27, $24, $49, $67 here and there on a monthly basis, it tallies up. And I'm gonna bet lunch that you don't use them all. My recommendation here is beware of what you sign up for, first of all. And second, what I personally do and what we've mentioned, what we do is every 3 months, we cancel and reissue our ATM, debit cards, credit cards. Why? Because that way, we're going to get an email directly from those dues and memberships saying, "Hey, your payment did not go through. What should we do?" Then you're going to notice, holy shit, what was I paying for this? I've never used this. I have not used this. So you're able to cut those costs. Okay? So that's a great tip that I just gave you there. Number 3, don't undervalue your time. Okay? Your time is very valuable. Okay? Plan accordingly. We set it on number 1. Okay? Don't spend too much time on low value activities. If you know your value, if you know the value of your time, stop doing activities that are not generating revenue. Okay? I value my time. Everybody in my team values their time. I know how much their time is worth. First of all, to us. Second, to our clients. And thirdly, the time that we have allocated to the project. So if you know what's your time's worth, you're going to know how to plan accordingly. Number 4, don't continue marketing activities that show minimal results. Shit. How do I do that? Well, if you don't know your numbers, you're screwed. If you know what what's bringing you for each dollar that you're spending, investing in marketing, then you're going to be able to understand this number, number 4. If you do not know how much your marketing dollars are bringing you in return in revenue, stop marketing, please, until you know those numbers. You're just wasting your money. If you're investing $500 in marketing, how much is bringing you in revenue? How many clients are you getting? How many phone calls are you getting? How many leads are you getting? How many emails are you getting? How many open rate emails are you getting? How many likes in your Facebook are you getting? How many likes in your Instagram are you getting? Do you know those numbers? No? Okay, then stop marketing and start focusing on those numbers. Plain and simple. I just saved you thousands of dollars there. If you do not know the return on investment on those marketing dollars, stop marketing. Or call us, hey, so we can help you determine what those numbers are. First of all, allocate properly. Where are you spending, investing those monies? And then ask you the questions that I just did. How many likes are you getting per day, per week, per month? Is your marketing team tracking where those leads are coming from? Is your marketing team asking your sales department, if they're asking, how did they find us? How did they get to our office? How did they get to our phone call? How did they get to our webinar? Do you know all those numbers? And number 5, don't go after every new opportunity that sounds exciting. Does it sound familiar? We're an accounting firm, and we want to offer taxes for personal, for corporation, for partnerships, for LLCs, for trusts, for estates, for dead people. We also want to offer tax resolution. We also want to offer EDD resolution. We also want to offer workers' comp audits. We also want to offer, do you get my drift? Do you get what I'm saying? We want to offer everything that there's out available. No, we don't. We don't want to do that. Okay? If you're a restaurant, what the hell are you selling? If you're an Italian restaurant, please don't try to offer hamburgers. I'm pretty sure the Italians, they do eat hamburgers, but they go to a specialized hamburger place. They just don't go to any simple Italian restaurant. Okay? Not every single Italian restaurant is going to offer paninis or pizzas. Okay? Don't try to be a do-it-all. Don't try to be a know-it-all, because you're going to unfocus from your main objective, which is, what's your specialty? You cannot specialize on everything. I'm talking about a restaurant. I'm talking about a law firm. I'm talking about an accounting firm. I'm talking about an architect firm. You cannot specialize on everything. As a chef, you are going to specialize in one cuisine. Maybe, yes, you know how to cook Indian food, but you don't specialize in Indian food maybe. Maybe you specialize in Mexican food. So don't try to accommodate anybody that asks you for any cuisine, please. Or as an accounting firm, don't try to accommodate anybody, because the only thing that you're going to be portraying to your customer is that you're desperate for clients, that you're desperate for revenue. And that's not true. Maybe it is, but don't portray it. Perception is everything. Don't portray the desperation of getting new clients, of trying to get new clients, because if you do not specialize in that, you are going to end up losing face in front of your clients. There you have it. Okay, new opportunities might be amazing. Let me start this new business because I might know a little bit about it. No, careful. Don't do that. Okay, so let's go back to the 5 points. Don't spend too much time on low value activities, meaning things that are not going to bring you revenue. Number 2, don't pay for costly services and activities. Monthly fees kill you. $29, $49, $67, $99 a month. Oh, it's little. No, it's not little. If you see some of the profit and losses that we do see, there's like 20 memberships. I've asked our clients, out of those 20 memberships, how many of those do you use? And when they see that and they realize that and they're like, holy shit, and I've been paying for 4 years on that, why didn't you tell us early? Well, let me tell you, we did. Number 3, don't undervalue your time. Understand how much your time is worth. Number 4, don't continue marketing activities that show minimal results unless you know your numbers. And number 5, don't go after every new opportunity that's out there and sounds exciting. There you have it. 5 points, 5 topics, 5 items that you can immediately implement in your business to generate more profits. More profits. Remember the difference between revenue and profits. Revenue, it's what comes into your business. Profits, it's the bottom line after you subtract every single expense associated in your company. Okay? So, with that, I'm going to invite you to like our Facebooks, Invictus Advisors USA, Invictus Advisors Mexico, my personal Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube channel. There's tons of value. Follow us, refer us, share it, whatever you want to do. And tomorrow, beware, because we actually going to have 5 winners of a gift certificate wherever you are in the world for a dozen donut. Okay, we have several people that have liked our posts from last Friday, and tomorrow we're going to announce the 5 winners. And as most of the days, I'm going to end up with our quote, but not before inviting you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have a special guest. Gabriel Moreno is going to join us from our office in Mexico City, and we're going to talk about accountability. Accountability. We need to know what the fuck accountability is, and we need to man up and be accountable for our own actions, decisions, and whatever we say. We need to be accountable. Okay? Don't point fingers. Don't point fingers. So tomorrow we're going to have a special guest. Gabriel Moreno is going to join us from Invictus Advisors Mexico, and we're going to have that amazing topic on top of donuts. Ooh. So I'm going to end up with today's quote. This is, it says, a man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. Wow, what a quote that it's perfect for tomorrow's Lunch with a Shark. It's perfect for today's topic. Let me repeat that. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. This is from John Maxwell. This is a great business coach and entrepreneur. If you don't follow him, follow him. He has great books full of knowledge. The more people or the more successful business owners and entrepreneurs you follow, the more well-educated and knowledgeable you're going to be to implement things in your own business and in your own life. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow, and have a great afternoon. Ciao.